Numerous players will need to toe the line this weekend if they are to avoid suspension for fixtures next week. Manchester United, Arsenal and Chelsea are among the numerous clubs that are at risk of players being ruled out through suspension soon. With the season in full flow, plenty of stars are racking up bookings and approaching the dreaded tally of 5. Arsenal playmaker Kai Havertz will need to be on his best behaviour for on Saturday when his side welcome Wolves to the Emirates Stadium. Another booking would see him miss the Gunners' trip to Luton Town in midweek through suspension. Similarly, Chelsea also have one player at risk of spending one match on the sidelines: Raheem Sterling. The England international was booked in his side's humbling defeat at the hands of Newcastle last weekend. And another cheap yellow card against Brighton would see the 28-year-old ruled out of the Blues match against United. Bruno Fernandes will also be weary of being suspended for that significant clash. The Portugal international remains on 4 yellow cards and will need to lead by example against Newcastle on Saturday night. The Magpies also have 2 players that are one booking away from suspension, which would only worsen Eddie Howe's team selection headache further down the line given the sheer number of injuries he is having to deal with. Kieran Trippier and Sean Longstaff will both need to ensure that they do not receive a booking against United, despite the expectation of a feisty encounter. Manchester City also have 2 players on the cusp of one-game bans, Jack Grealish and Rodri. The pair are expected to play key roles against Tottenham on Sunday but will need to stay on the right side of the law if they are to feature against Aston Villa in midweek. Unai Emery will be warning Matty Cash, Lucas Digne and Douglas Luiz to avoid a booking up against Bournemouth if they are to feature against City, with the trio all vital players in the Villa system. Crystal Palace star Jordan Ayew will also need to avoid overstepping the mark this weekend when his side face West Ham. Luton have 4 stars that will run the risk of suspension up against Brentford: Issa Kabor, Tom Lockyer and Marvelous Nakamba, with the Bees also having Christopher Odger and Christian Nørgaard on their final warnings. Elsewhere, Sheffield United duo Oliver Norwood and Jack Robinson both also have 4 bookings each, as well as Burnley's Jordan Bayer. Everton will be aiming to bounce back to form against Nottingham Forest over the weekend, where Jared Branthwaite, Abdoulaye Doucouré, Ashley Young and Forest duo Oral Mungala and Ibrahim Sangare will all need to be on their best behaviour.